and this is where Reyes is wrong again. As a collective group, they're 27th a year ago. They're 27th again this year. As a unit, they suck. I don't give a fuck what you think his numbers are. I'm talking about you win with the group. You don't win by yourself. Ask Josh Allen. You don't fucking win by yourself, bro. I mean, it's a group thing. As a unit, they're the 28th worst successful offense in pro football. Without further ado, my friend, Big C, Zander Krause joins us now. Look at this. I got all this shit over here too still. Oh, my God.
What's up, Silz? How you doing, brother?
All right, man. It's post-Turkey Day, bro. Have you been able to swallow your Thanksgiving Day meal over the weekend in your seconds after what happened to the Eagles on Friday?
Yeah, it's an interesting team, though, isn't it, man? It's a weird team, this Eagles team. They stink. They look like they stink, at least, and they drop a game to the Bears. Yeah, I swallowed my food. I'm all right, man. I'll live. It's all good.
Yeah, but
I mean, conversation, no.
Well, here's my problem with the team, though. Okay, I mean, are you on the side of Patullo or benching Hurts? Do you fire Patullo? Do you bench Hurts, or do you do none of that?
Well, yeah, I think you're probably going to do none of it, to be real. But I think Patullo is less of a problem than Jalen, and I think he's less of a problem than Sirianni as well. I mean, if you have a problem with the offensive approach or the play calling or any of those things, I would direct that to Nick Sirianni. You know, not I don't think Kevin Patullo has a good feel for the game, but I really don't think he's problem number one. So if your problem is all play calling based or offensive philosophy based, that to me belongs, on Nick Sirianni, not Kevin Patullo. If your problem is execution, which many people are, and rightfully so. I mean, you watch players run open. You saw Devontae Smith open in that game. I mean, you see players open in this offense consistently, especially if you're watching from the Sky cameras or the All 22 cameras. Then I think you got to put Jalen Hurts first. I mean, I'm kind of in between both of them. I think Jalen has been a pretty big letdown, especially the last 4 weeks. But I'm also not of the belief that we got like some superstar coaching staff. I'm just not. You know what I mean? Like you said, I don't know how good Nick, even if it is Jalen Hurts' problem or fault, like how good of a coach really is Nick Sirianni? I don't know. I don't think he's all that great of a coach. He's never really wowed me, but he has been to two Super Bowls in the last 3 years. But he could also he could also have 2 collapses in the last 3 years, depending on how this season goes. So, dude, it's highs and lows with this team. They hate the middle, right? It's either great or it's brutal with this football team.
Okay, so and I disagree with Angelo on this. It's the OC.
Angelo.
I disagree, and I'll tell you why. So when I watch Matthew Stafford and I watch Sean McVay with an offensive game plan, dude, they're chucking that ball down the field because that's what Stafford does well, right? Throws the ball from the pocket well.
Yeah.
Okay, when I watch Joe Brady and Josh Allen, they have a multiple RPO type offense. He runs the ball. He throws the ball. Those guys have curtailed an offensive game tack and game plan to those guys' skill sets. Doesn't the coordinator expose Hurts for his limitations? That the reason why the coordinator and the playbook is so thin is because the play caller can't open the playbook up because either the quarterback doesn't want it opened up or the coordinator is going to the skill set. Like Zander, a batting instructor, a hitting instructor in baseball, in Major League Baseball, is not going to change your batting stance.
Yeah, no, I got you.
He's going to tell you some of the fundamental things that you're doing wrong, maybe that can help you out to maybe see the ball better, stand up in the batter's box. One thing that Pete Rose used to tell me all the time, don't ever change your swing, son. That's what got you to the big leagues. And so the OC, I think he's a pawn in it.
I think I've always thought that because I've known that Patullo was never going to have as much say as people thought, And by the way, this was true with Kellen Moore too. Don't you remember totally. They ran Kellen Moore's scheme for the first 4 games? Jalen had 7 turnovers. They were 2-2, and the offense was sputtering. Bye week, they switched. They went conservative. They went risk averse. This is where this offense was created, And then we had a really bad passing game last year. So, I think more for Patullo. The thing that I don't understand with the organization, and it's really proven your one take correct of they don't hire coaches for Jalen Hurts, they hire coaches for Nick Sirianni, which maybe there's a lot more to talk about there than just a bad decision for Jalen. I think that maybe shows you what the organization wants as a whole or at large, but they don't hire coaches for Jalen. I mean, Kevin Patullo has been the passing game coordinator for 4 years. Silz, find me one time in the last 4 years you've had a good passing game. Even in 22 when Hurts was an MVP candidate, they weren't even a top half of the league passing game. I think they were like 16th or 18th or something like that. I mean, this has been your passing game coordinator for 4 years, and you've objectively stunk pretty bad at passing the ball for 4 years in comparison to the other teams in the league. I mean, why hire that guy? You know, especially if you don't have a passing quarterback. Now, it brings me back to the original start of this regime. They hired Nick Sirianni to fix Carson Wentz. They did not hire him to make Jalen Hurts the starter. Anybody that says otherwise is living in a revisionist world. They wanted Carson Wentz, after being benched by Doug Peterson, to come back, resurrect his career, and continue on the path he was on.
And explain to people that those two guys have two different skill sets.
Wait, it's so different, it's not even fun. And then what happened was Carson Wentz played bully, said, I'm not playing for your organization. Howie was forced to move him. He got the conditional deal with the Colts. They sent him to Indianapolis, by the way, where he had 27 touchdowns and 7 picks. Jalen was a starter for 1 year. And then they again tried to move to Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson. They had a massive deal on the table for both of those guys.
And 2 first-rounders. Don't forget they had going into that next April draft.
For both of them. Russell didn't want to play in Philly, and Deshaun was friends with Jalen and didn't want to take his job. Now, 22 happened. Jalen went on to be an MVP candidate. He solidified his deal, and they doubled down on it there. I'm just saying, the original idea of not only Nick Sirianni, but of the general manager and the owner was not to have Jalen Hurts as the face of the franchise.
Correct.
Not to have Jalen Hurts as your starting quarterback. Now you see Nick Sirianni brings in Kellen Moore. Nick Sirianni brings in Kevin Patullo. Like, how many more passing guys are they going to bring in until we all realize, guys, they want to pass the football?
Yeah.
And the way they run offense right now is because of the quarterback. Yeah. Now, this is where I differ from them and what I believe they should have done or should do. Okay, Jalen is paid, and Jalen is the face of the franchise. Fucking build on him, or let him go out there and throw. If he falls flat on his face, at least we know. Like, we don't even know right now because we're like, they got Jalen playing this bullshit-ass offense with no complex nature to it. They're not trying to push the ball through the air properly. They don't have a good running game. And I understand people who are like, how the hell can we judge Jalen Hurts right now with this crappy offense? I understand that. It's because of Jalen. But if they want to figure out where we stand, or if we do have Jalen and we are stuck with Jalen, or Jalen's going to be the quarterback for the next couple of years, dude, figure out what the problem is. You know what I mean? And until they do that, I think they're doing everybody a disservice by playing this bitch ball. Maybe they'll change something. Who knows? How many losses will it take for them to change something?
No way. No way. December 1st? Not changing that. You think Barkley's a one-year wonder?
How do you define a one-year wonder in his case? I mean, I don't think he's ever going to do what he did last year again. But I think he was okay.
I thought he was okay in New York. I didn't think he was spectacular in New York.
Yeah, and maybe I was wrong. I mean, I thought most of why he was okay in New York and was not great was.
Well, I think there's
running back. Do you agree with this premise? Running back is similar to receiver in that it relies on people around you to be successful. Receivers rely on the vehicle getting them the football, the quarterback. Running backs rely on, in a way, the offensive line, the coordinator, all those different things. So I always thought how he played in New York wasn't exactly indicative of how good he was as a player, So I put a little bit of like a curve on his New York performance. And then you see him with a great offensive line, but it was kind of the tale of two extremes. You had shitty New York, And then you had one of the best offensive lines in the NFL history, as pointed out by a former GM who said that to John McMullen last year. He runs for 2,000. Now they're back to the middle of the Paco line, and he looks like a below-average running back right now. I mean, that's just a fact. He's a below-average running. He's averaging under 4 yards a carry, 60 yards a game, whatever it is right now. It's not very good. Yeah, I mean, I think you're seeing the 1 year right now is the outlier until he proves otherwise.
Okay, so Mark Tunay was a free agent. Kevin Gogan was a 7th rounder. Crawford Kerr was a 3rd rounder. And their other offensive tackle for the Cowboys before Emmett showed up was a free agent. Those guys were all signed by Tom Landry. Guys were nobody. Emmett comes in. Those guys become the greatest offensive line since the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they're considered the greatest line. So Emmett changed their lives.
Yeah, that's fair.
Being that guy.
Well, Saquon isn't Emmett. I think we know that.
Yeah, well, get this. Because those guys were better even before he showed up. Why? Miles Sanders was a Pro Bowler. DeAndre Swift was a Pro Bowler. It wasn't Saquon. It was the O-line. You know who's regressed? Saquon hasn't regressed, dog. The O-line has.
I know, but Saquon might have too.
What, reverted back to what? New York Saquon?
Yeah.
Because the O-line is no longer that. I gave you the grades.
Yeah, but this is
and
silly.
Landon and Cam have been brutal this year.
Bro, this is exactly why. John used to say something on Birds 365 last year, and he says it this year too. And people have such a hard time hearing it or grasping it. Teams don't want to play this way because look how hard it is to maintain. If your offensive identity in the modern NFL is bully ball, running the football like the Eagles did last year, it's very hard year in and year out to have everything perfect around the quarterback, to have the great running game, to have the perfect offensive line, to have all of those different things. You're going to see this type of fluctuation year to year. The best way to overcome that in NFL terms is to have a passer. They make it easier. Rams offensive line goes up and down. Matthew Stafford still got that offense good. You know what I mean? I think that's how they view it, and this is why it's so hard to play the way the Eagles have played because it's hard to keep it good every year, dude. It is.
I'm going to take – Emrayes just said something that reminded me of this, and I'm going to ask you this right now. Do you think last year with all the fanfare and the Offensive Player of the Year award that Saquon won and the face of the offense a year ago, one of the reasons that Hurts doesn't want to run – I brought this up earlier – is because he doesn't want Barkley to be the face of the offense. Barkley was the face. Barkley was the – well, dude, I got now people telling me, Jeff McClain's telling me, guy doesn't want to run the ball.
Well,
he doesn't want to run.
Well, wait, I don't want to conflate
his inability to run the ball right now this year, it's dramatic compared to what he's done.
Yeah.
All right,
remember this.
Don't you think him not running the ball has affected Barkley's ability to run the ball like he did a year ago too?
Yes, but remember this because I want to come back to that topic on just Jalen, not as it impacts Barkley, because I think that's a big topic. Like that to me is the biggest concern right now in Jalen Hurts, that report. But as far as Barkley, yeah, I mean, when you don't have the +1 in the run game, and I don't think teams are respecting it as much anymore, it completely changes things. I don't think it's the biggest reason. I mean, I don't think it's like, if he started running, Saquon would go crazy again. I don't think that. But I do think it's had an impact for sure to some extent. I don't know, maybe 25%, something like that.
Okay. So what about the report that you're hearing Jalen doesn't want to be a guy involved really in the run game, and he wants to be a pocket passer? And I said this prior to going on the air to you. If that's his mentality, he's a below average quarterback because he is not a pocket passer.
If that's his mentality, that's a big problem. That's a big problem because that one, it shows you that.
You think that's why the coaches are frustrated now too, and that's why they're making that known?
Potentially. I mean, but look at this comment. Roll says Hurts wants to do whatever it takes to win. Well, Roll, if that report is true, then he lied. He doesn't. Yeah. He doesn't want to do whatever it takes.
That's right.
He wants to do it his way.
That's right.
And his way right now is responsible for the bottom offense in pro football, one of the bottom offenses in pro football. So Jalen Hurts is a great runner. Taking that away makes literal zero sense. I mean, I don't understand how anybody doesn't see that. That's like taking away Steph Curry's 3-point shot. That's you don't do that. Jalen Hurts is an amazing +1 in the running game in the offense, and it makes defenses, struggle to play the team. It opens up the passing game too, because they got to keep a man in the box, to spy Jalen Hurts if he's killing you with his legs. So that to me is a huge problem. And, I personally don't think Jalen is good enough to play explicitly pocket passing, quarterbacking. I don't think that's his skill set. I don't think that makes a lot of sense for him. I don't think he's ever been that type of quarterback. The only time he was kind of that type of quarterback was like Oklahoma when you're in the Big 12. And guess what? The Big 12
throw it every down.
Yeah, you can throw every down. And
no defenses.
No defenses anywhere. I mean, this isn't Oklahoma. So that to me is a huge problem. And that shows you it's like, maybe some of those reports that they only run these certain plays for a reason have more credence, because if Jalen is dictating that he doesn't want to run the football or have play design runs, and they're giving in on that, then what's he also telling them about certain passing concepts or have to play? I mean, you have heard some reports. Some people don't want to believe them, but you've heard reports of the playbook is small because Jalen wants it to be small. He's not comfortable with a bunch of passing concepts.
Well, look at the offenses, and this is where Reyes is wrong again. As a collective group, they're 27th a year ago. They're 27th again this year. As a unit, they suck. I don't give a fuck what you think his numbers are. I'm talking about you win with the group. You don't win by yourself. Ask Josh Allen. You don't fucking win by yourself, bro. I mean, it's a group thing. As a unit, they're the 28th worst successful offense in pro football.
Yeah, did you see that stat? The success rate, I don't even know what that is, but yeah.
And least successful offense in the league. And that's with him at the helm. I mean, come on, man. What are you talking about here? He's like success. What success?
Well, remember though, here's the thing, because I think it brings up an even bigger conversation of like Jalen would have to develop more to be a pocket passer exclusively. And then you have like that word of like, all right, one, he's 6 years in. How much development are you doing at this point? Leave that aside for a second.
Yeah.
Any development in anything in life, whether you're an NFL quarterback or you're a talk show host or you're, a waiter, a waitress at a restaurant, whatever you do, development means failure. The only way to develop in something is to learn by trial and error and failure. This team is not built to develop a player right now. They're built to win. Developing quarterbacks is for shitty rosters. Yes, developing quarterbacks is for the New York Giants of the world. It's for the Titans of the world. It's not for the Eagles.
No.
So, like, if you're sitting here telling me, well, they should just let Jalen develop in the pocket. Bro, I think they've identified this is a window to win, and we want to put Jalen in whatever the best offense to win now is as compared to letting Jalen develop in the pocket. You get what I'm saying by that?
Totally.
They're too good for that, man. They can't do that.
The only thing Hurts can get right now is smarter. He can't get any better skill set wise. And you know what he's done? He made sure to protect the football. There's no question about that. Okay, let me ask you one thing right now. What's the one thing as a skilled quarterback Jalen does great right now? Can you name me one?
One what? His skill set?
As a skill set quarterback.
Yeah,
what's the one thing he does great right now?
Great? I mean, I view great as top 25% of the league.
Okay. Does well.
Deep ball, Kibo. Every deep ball I watch is underthrown.
No shit. Or overthrown.
Kibo. Really? I mean, I know that was a narrative for a little bit that Jalen was a great deep ball thrower. I mean, I don't see
they
that.
Don't threaten the deep passes. And if they're deep passes, they look like fucking punts.
I think the turnovers is a fair one. He protects the football great. He's got one of the best ratios in the league.
Okay.
We could argue why that is, but
Okay. So he doesn't turn the ball over. Do you really think that takes skill?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Yeah. So when I limit you in passes and throwing 5-yard outs, and I limit the ability for you
Well,
to have
that's
a
why
turnover
we can
play.
argue about why he has that, but he still has it.
Yeah, he has it because they set him up for it.
Well, remember though their record when he doesn't turn the ball. That's why I mean, like, people are wondering why don't they let Jalen develop in the pocket, bro? Because they're 40-2 and they don't turn the ball over, and they have a great roster. They view win now. They're not looking to develop Jalen Hurts right now. This isn't the 2020 Eagles, man. This is a different era, different beast.
I don't think Angelo I don't think that Gary got what I'm going to say, and I'm going to ask you this. I think that Saquon Barkley wasn't prepared for this coming season this year. I talked to Eric Dickerson over the weekend. I said, what's wrong with Dickerson? You know what he said? I mean, what's wrong with Barkley? You know what he said? He wasn't conditioned physically to play another 400 carry year. And I went, what do you mean? He goes, after my first 390 carry year, my first year, I got out of that season and I was fucking fried. I had to train so hard. And guess what he did? He came back the following year, went for 2105. He said, dude, training for 350 carries? He hadn't carried the ball 300 times ever in his career. He went 460. He goes,
well, and you heard, remember the comment
Barkley prepared to play that. His body's not prepared to go there.
Remember the comment Barkley made this summer?
I'm sorry?
Remember the comment Barkley made this summer?
No.
I'm taking it easy. You grew up.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Well, you know what Dickerson
did? That in with every commercial in the book, Pure Auto, Madden, all these different things. President hangouts, driving around on Air Force One. Yeah. He's doing all this bullshit, not getting ready for the season, and now he doesn't look all that
He's
good.
not in shape.
You can't. Yeah, I mean, look, you can't.
I'm talking about carry shape, not in treadmill shape.
Yeah,
running shape. I'm talking being hit. Yeah. Do you get this? So Dickerson went for 390, 380, 404. He said, and he gave 5,700 yards in 3 years. 3 years, almost $6,000. Okay, in 3 years. That's as many yards as Barkley has his entire career. But he said he was conditioned. I think all that bullshit off the field. I don't think Saquon Barkley was conditioned to play because Eric Dickerson said you have to have a mental and physical approach to carrying the ball 350 times a year. He goes, when I watch him, he goes like this. He goes, you know why he's indecisive? Because he's looking for the easy lane. Instead of just hammering it in there. He's looking for the easy lane.
He hops through the football. Why does he do that?
He says yeah.
I was watching the Bears game. I saw somebody tweet about this on X, and when I'm rewatching the Bears game, I was looking at it. Like, DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monungai, 7th round rookie, when they get the handoff, they're in full sprint. So they get the ball and they're train in motion. Objects in motion stay in motion. What is that? Newton's law? Who's got the science in the chat? All right. Saquon, when he's getting the handoffs, he's hopping through them.
Yeah.
So instead of having his legs moving, he's coming out of a hop, looking where to go next. There's no consistency to his legs going. I don't understand why he's doing that.
Anytime you stop your feet in football, you're beat.
Yeah, exactly. Especially the NFL.
You stop your feet.
I don't know why he's doing that, but I think it's a big. I think I've noticed that. I mean, everybody rewatch some plays and just look at. He hops through the ball. It's weird. It's almost like he's so used to being great at juking that he can juke around guys, but he hops through the ball. It's odd. I don't know why he does that.
I got to tell you something, man. The last the last month of the football, I got to tell you, I'm going to say it one more time to you, and I know that, everybody in Philadelphia probably not going to like this, but hey, I'll tell you what, Jalen Carter's lost a shitload of money in my eyes. I mean, no way. Dude, he was getting drilled. I watched the 22. He was 7 yards off the fucking ball. Now, I know the Bears have a good old line, but this was all day. I'm surprised Zach Bond and Nakobe made any plays.
Oh, they were terrible.
Both guys were in the way. Moro Ajomo, Jalen Phillips, every single one of those guys. I haven't seen a defensive line get destroyed like that in quite some time. I mean, When you walked into that meeting on Monday and you saw Vic and you saw Clint hurt, I didn't even text Clint because I mean, I don't have to text somebody. And do you understand that between me and John, what John and I got into a conversation with, I wasn't disagreeing with John. My problem was as a defensive tackle, okay, you have no room to bring anybody's name up or say anything about anybody when you have 300 yards fucking jammed down your face like that and you're getting knocked off the ball and you're a windmill. You have no room to talk about anything. Hey, you know, I was a really little bit disappointed and hey, dude, shut the fuck up. You got annihilated on Friday after Thanksgiving for the nation to see you.
That was your Miami boy. That was Jalen Phillips.
Hey, I told you to keep an eye on that injury on that shoulder.
Yeah. No, I completely understood what you were saying. Like, the point isn't that they're better in Detroit. I don't give a shit about that. The point is you just got ran for 280. You don't have the right to say who's better than who.
Hey, really? I mean, where are you coming from with that?
Yeah, you lost your card there, brother.
Yeah, you don't have any. Hey, what do you make of Carter? How you feeling about him if you're Howard?
Yeah, I talked about this morning on Zander Time. It's disappointing because you look at Jalen Carter and you see the talent. You're like, the guy could dominate the NFL. And you compare him to the way some of these other guys around the league prepare and work out and prep their body. Like, let's call a spade a spade.
When I watched Quinnen Williams play, I was like, fuck, that's it.
Yeah, but even Carter, like, dude, he's kind of like, he's fat. Like he could be in way better shape. Have you seen Aaron Donald work out? Have you seen these dudes? Even a guy like Jared Verse right now in LA. Oh, I mean, these dudes prepare their body. And look, that's not to say Jalen Carter's not talented. By the way, I think they're going to pay him, and I think they should. The question for me is just how much do you go? Because he's still a great player. But he's got this bad attitude. He's pretty immature a lot of times. And, I mean, anybody who's looking at Jalen Carter, I think you can all realize that dude could be in a lot better shape. He's relying on talent instead of working. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Jalen Carter's got to work a little hard. He's got to get in the gym, man. So, unfortunately.
It takes no talent to be in shape. It takes willpower. Okay, it takes willpower.
Discipline. It's hard. Yeah, you got to work out every single day. Yeah,
when the lights aren't on and you got to train and it's raining out and shit, you got to go out there and get that fat body, get in shape.
He does get held a lot, but like we talked about this a little bit ago, just Mike, the problem with that, and I agree with you, by the way, he does get held a lot. He kind of ruined his reputation with the refs. And reputation matters on getting calls, man.
I'll tell you one thing, too. You guys disagreed with me. Having Josh Sweat and Milton Williams playing on that line, you guys thought that there'd be less double teams? Who thought that? Who thought that there'd be less double teams? I mean, what do you make of this Charger team? 5-7 coming in. Quarterback's got a broken hand. Left hand, though. By the way, you know what you're going to see in this game? What's the one thing you're going to see Monday night? What's the one thing you are going to see Monday night?
What, with the Chargers?
A shitload of shotgun because of the quarterback's injury to his left hand.
Yeah, that's true. And remember that they're coming off a game where they ran the ball well.
It's the Raiders, but okay.
Yeah, all right, whatever, bro. We just gave up 280. As far as I'm concerned, we've lost the ability to say we're worse than the Raiders.
Fair enough.
Especially at stopping the run. So,
and the Chargers have won 5 of 7.
Yeah, they're 8-4 too.
Yeah,
and we're 8-4. Everybody tells me, "Oh, we're still 8-4, Zander. Relax." Chargers are 8-4. You know,
Denver's 10-2, and they got like a 2-game lead in that division.
I know.
You got Kansas City fighting for their lives in that division. I mean, how do you feel about that Charger team coming in with a guy like Herbert? Now he's banged up a little bit, but doesn't affect his passing arm. I mean, but hey, on the other side of the ball, guess who you got coming in too? Derwin James. Homie can hit.
He's good player. Well, I'm going to use a quote I got from the post game show, Silz. Kyle Kokorski, are you out there? Kyle, if you're here, I appreciate you. Kyle said something to me because I was talking to him about, the Eagles getting the NFC East. And I'm like, dude, we got the Raiders in there. We got the Commanders 12. We got some easy games.
Get the Bills too.
And Kyle said this to me. He said, it's not who you're playing. It's how the Eagles are playing. Yeah. In other words, right now the opponent doesn't really matter, dude. It doesn't really matter. I don't think we're capable of blowing anybody out.
No,
I mean,
no
even
way.
that Chargers-Raiders game yesterday took the Chargers at least a half of football to. I
Oh,
think it
yeah.
was 7-7 at halftime, if I'm not mistaken.
JT's been pretty decent for them. And by
So
the
I'm
way,
just saying there,
that
like
Bowers
this Eagles
kid,
team,
dude, that Bowers kid for the Raiders is going to be a handful for the Eagles. That Brock Bowers kid,
he's a
he
beast.
can fucking play.
Oh, you get him on Reed's stinking ship. Oh, we're cooked.
Oh my God, is he good, dude? Holy
yeah,
cow.
that guy's good, man. He's probably the best tight end in football.
Oh, he is best tight end in football.
Yeah, he's probably the best tight end in football already, which is crazy. What's he, year 2?
Yeah, this is second year. He broke the rookie record that was held in 1963.
Now, I don't know if they have the vehicle to get him the ball with Geno. I liked Geno in Seattle, but
he had 100 catches. Oh, Geno wasn't there a year ago. That's right. Okay. What do you make of the defense?
I think the dam broke, brother. I'm really not mad at him.
Wait. I think you're right. I heard John this morning. John goes like this, man, I was really disappointed in the defense. I'm like, you were calling them a Timu defense. Now you're disappointed in them?
Yeah, but
how are you disappointed in a Timu defense? I mean, Zander, were your expectations going to be really that you replaced 5 starters off the Super Bowl? You thought they were going to be like a world-beating team like they were a year ago?
Let me ask you, bro. Like, they played the Cowboys on Sunday night, and they had 68 snaps, the defense. 68 snaps.
That's a lot.
Remember, the Eagles didn't score for 41 minutes in that game. 41 minutes. Then they come out on a short week on a football Friday, and they play 81 plays. Now, they were getting gashed in the running game before it got up to 81. They had 140 yards against them in the first half. So they weren't great all game. But, I mean, the dam broke, dude. This defense has been – A.J. Brown's been telling us all year. The defense is holding this team together. It can't be like that much longer. I think the dam broke. I'm not saying it's an excuse. 280 is brutal, but I don't think the defense can hang it much longer.
How do you think that defense held up on a short work week, giving up 155 plays? They had 155 plays on a short work.
That's insane. That's what I mean. Like I'm sorry.
That's the offense's fault.
Yes, that is insane amount of plays in 5
That's
days.
on the offensive play caller, the quarterback, the head coach. You gave up 155 plays that your defense had to go out there. And by the way, how many points did they give up in the Cowboy game? What did they give up in the Cowboy game? Do you remember what the number was in the Cowboy game? What was it? 20
running yards in that game? I think Cowboys had a buck 25.
The score, 24?
24-21, yep.
Okay, and they gave up another 24. You're telling me they only gave up 48 points and you had 153 plays that you had? I think that's fucking good.
That's what I'm saying. I tried telling it to John. I'm like, John, I get it. The defense gave up a lot of running yards. It was 10-9 in the fourth quarter.
I saw that.
Like, bro, Jalen Hunt got an interception in the second half that delivered the Eagles offense the ball in plus territory, and Jalen fumbled the tush push. They could have taken the lead right there.
My wife is watching the game with me. She goes, they're out there 180 plays. What'd you expect them to do?
Right. Look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you.
Right, I'm not giving them a hall pass either.
Yeah, I'm not giving them a hall pass, but I do think that some of this stuff is a very simple explanation for why they have been worse the last couple of weeks. I mean, they're gassed, dude. They're gassed. Right. That defense is gassed. We are a leader in 3-and-out. We had another 4 3-and-outs on Friday. I mean, this offense, man, we're getting got right now. I don't know if do you think they turn it around?
No way. I think they slow it down.
All right, they got 5 games left. What's the record?
3-2.
All right, I said 2-3 this morning.
Well, I got my 11 wins. I think they go 3-2.
Yeah, my win prediction's way off. They'd have to win out to get mine. That's not happening.
How much of this do you think they're looking at AJ's attitude and affecting the locker room and all this? Does that play a factor at all in
What do
Because
you mean? AJ. If I'm AJ, I'm showing up to the next press conference with a big sign that says "I was right." Fuck all you idiots.
Are you going to put a big Silz hat on? You going to put a big Silz hat on?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah,
AJ Brown was right about everything.
Right about everything.
Yeah, make two of them. AJ version and a Silz version. I mean, AJ said exactly what AJ said is what's coming to fruition.
Oh,
and you're going to have people go, oh my gosh, he tweeted it. It's such bad professionalism. Shut up. The problem is the problem. And the problem is what's going to get the football team, not the fact that he tweeted. All right? It's that the offense can't move the ball to save their life. And by the way, the only time we've scored in the last 2 games is when we go to A.J. Brown. That's it. It's the only time we move the ball is when we target A.J. Brown. So maybe we should go to more of that and knock him off of it. And by the way, one comment we got to make about this Rams team. You know, I keep getting this comment all day. Look at Philadelphia crying. How come the Rams lose and you guys don't bring, you know, for one, we're an Eagles show. We're not a Rams show. And second of all, Killa, that's a one-off, okay? The Eagles offense has sucked for 12 games, my friend. Whoa. The Rams had 1 bad game.
Wait, Carolina.
28 touchdowns.
Carolina
beat. It's an outlier.
No, Carolina went up to Green Bay and beat the fuck out of the Packers, and they beat the piss out of the Rams. They're not a great team, but they're a good team. How about this? You got 2 teams on your resume where you beat Green Bay. Oh, don't forget they also beat Dallas. So don't tell me that they're bad. Okay, they beat Dallas, Green Bay. They're not great.
The Rams are a good football team.
Oh, they're a fabulous team.
Yeah, they're a good team. There's no dominant team in the NFL right now. You know?
In both conferences, there's not.
Yeah.
So do you think the best remedy for the team to get back to a Super Bowl contending team is to replace Patullo? Or do you think it's not to replace Patullo?
Are you talking about right now or like next year?
Right now. That's what everybody in Philly's bitching about.
No,
Replace him.
You can't replace it. You can't replace the coordinator right now. That would be a bad move. I think most would agree with that.
Totally.
I think most would agree with that. I don't think
I think that's a sign of panic.
Yeah, man, last time they did that, look, we were 10-2. They replaced the defensive coordinator, and it got worse. So I don't. What I do think that they've turned a blind eye to too quick, and maybe it's because they don't have the guy in the building. You know, I was liking things to hockey because I played hockey. It's like pulling a goalie. Like now, your offense is stale. Like, remember Dan Campbell just took the play calls. Maybe he was wrong, but like, just let someone else call plays for a game. See if they can spice something up. See if they can get something going. Let Scott Leffler. He called plays at Bowling Green. I know Bowling Green's not the NFL, but like, I do think that I'm not saying
he did call plays for Brady.
I'm not saying fire. I'm not saying fire Patullo, but like, I don't think they should continually just act like that's an insane question. Like, dude, the offense sucks. It has every week.
Here, Nick, today, everything's great. We're all right.
Oh, I can't listen to Nick anymore.
We're all right.
I didn't even listen to him today. I was working.
Well, no, they were sending me clips, and I'm going like, he says it's all right? Come on, man. Dude, Nick is a victim, and he is a guy who benefits from the type of coordinator they have in the building. If they hire a good one, he gets the roses. What?
What do you mean he's a victim?
He's a victim of who's in the building. Either the guy's good or bad. You know, he's going to get the roses when he's good. He's going to get the shit when he's bad. That, to me, is a sign he's not a good coach. You know why? Because he's not a problem solver.
It's kind of part of the gig, I guess. It's part of the gig.
Well, I mean, sometimes places lose coordinators and they still go on.
This is my question to you about Nick, because I'm not the biggest Nick guy.
Hey, look at the Buccaneers here for a second. The Buccaneers are not very good right now. They eked out a win against Arizona, and I still think they're limping along. That guy's lost Liam Cohn and Dave Canales in the last 2 years, and I'll tell you what, Baker Mayfield's still putting numbers up.
Yeah, but that team's not as good. But let me ask you this: like, you're hard on Jalen Hurts. You think he's the caboose, and in many ways, he's limited. Okay, like Nick has had him as his quarterback and has had this level of success. Don't you have to be like, all right, he got to get some credit for that. If it's not going to be the quarterback you give credit to.
Okay, that being said, Do you think he's getting the best out of that player? And do you think that the quarterback is regressing, or do you think the quarterback is getting better? Because when I saw Josh McDaniel for 20 years in New England, Brady got better until the year he was 43 years old. Do you think this guy's getting better since he was 24 years old?
No.
And he had Shane Steichen when he was in 22? Or do you think he's regressing as a quarterback? Has Nick made that an advancement in his career to make it better?
I think what we talked about earlier is what's happened. I think they've identified they're not going to develop a quarterback in the middle of the Super Bowl window.
And they ran Wentz out, and this is the only reason that Jalen Hurts is not being run out of town as fast as Carson Wentz is because he can handle the stress, and he's more of a winner mentality-wise.
Yeah, but
he's built different mentally.
You look at the contract situation. Hurts ain't going anywhere.
No, he's got the
organization by the balls,
by the Kool-Yangs. You're not sending him. I had people over the weekend go, "We got to trade him. We got to get." I'm like, "Wait, what do you mean?"
He's got them by. He's totally got them by the.
Nicole Lynn got that no trade in there, bro.
Please, that man.
You better stop that. This guy's got total control over his destiny.
Yeah,
I told people when they gave him that, I was like, you gave him a no trade, which means you can't do anything to him. He could sit there on the bench if you decided to bench him, collect $51 million and laugh at you. Laugh at you. You have no control of this. Hey, I want to trade you. Okay,
we got to get off. We got to get off Eagles for a second.
I know where you're going. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
College football playoff?
There and Lane Kiffin.
There is no fucking way on the planet I'm going to sit there and fucking have that guy coach me when you quit on me and play me in the playoffs. That would be like this. So you think that the CEO of Coke, if he got the job at Pepsi, you're going to just let him stay in there for the end of the fourth quarter and not try to recruit? He's not going to recruit executives out of Coke and take them to Pepsi with him and all the things and all the secrets and not try to do even any kind of sabotaging that's going on. Let's face it here. Ole Miss is a better program than LSU right now.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they're in the college playoff.
All right, right now. But you understand the difference, obviously, between a blue blood there's a tiers of program here.
Today, Ole Miss is better.
Well, they're a better team.
This
is what bothers me, though, about the discourse on Lane Kiffin. I don't disagree with anything you just said. I don't think that's Lane Kiffin's problem. I mean, look at the schedule set up by the NCAA. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, the early sign window starts in 2 days. So that's why you come to a head like this. Now, I don't disagree with you. Lane shouldn't have asked to stay, but he got offered a massive gig at one of the biggest schools in the world. With a massive pay raise. You know what I mean?
No, it's a $3 million pay raise, which is good.
No, 7 to 13.
It's a 20. No, he went from 9 to 13.
He makes 9 at Ole Miss. I thought it was 7.
Yeah, he makes 9 at He makes 9 at Ole Miss.
9.
What they gave him though at LSU was a $25 million nil every year.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Okay, but wait, let me
choose a better program. Remember, though, you understand this. I mean, you went through this with Miami when you were so pissed off that they couldn't recruit South Florida guys. He's living in the transfer portal, dude. He can't recruit 5 stars.
Okay,
And by the way, one other thing though, look at the guy who just got fired from Kentucky, Stoops.
Mark Stoops.
Remember, he almost got the job in A&M in 23.
He was the D coordinator at UM when he got that.
Exactly. You have some flash success at a school like that. If that shit goes in the next couple of years because your program can't compete and out recruit the big dogs, you're going to get fired, and then you're never going to have an opportunity at a big school again. I understand why Lane Kiffin did it this way.
No. I don't have a problem with Lane doing that. I don't. But the coach in the playoff, there's a couple things here with this. Okay. So Lane Kiffin, are you sure you're going to be in a position to be 12 quarters away from winning a national title at LSU? Are you really sure that? Lane told you this: winning a national championship is not as important to me as the new job at LSU. So, okay, let's put this in perspective there, okay? So the college football playoffs and you taking the LSU job was more important. Do you know in the NFL, if you're tampering with other coaches, you lose first-round draft choices, you lose millions of dollars. College football is off the rails because conferences are allowed to do this shit. And so at the end of the day, Lane takes the LSU job. He leaves the kids in a lurch. Hey, man, I don't blame him for taking it. But if I'm the Ole Miss people, you're nowhere near my program, guy. I think it was handled poorly.
That I agree with. I don't disagree.
I think it was handled poorly by both because once they got an inkling that he was leaving, they should have cut ties as soon as they could.
Yeah, well, apparently he did keep him in the dark a little bit about it, which you know, okay. But you know, the other funny part about it is it's like, and you're right, you mentioned he's 12 quarters away, but like a lot of this happened because of the expectation he created by bringing Ole Miss to the best period of football they've fucking ever had in the last 5 years. You know what I mean? He set the expectation.
5 years? Try 50 years.
No, I'm saying he's been there for 5
Oh, yeah,
years.
no. Yeah, what I'm saying is, they were good in the 50s, like the 50s.
Literally.
So here's the other thing that's in the bylaws of the playoff. So, I mean, if you lose a coach or you lose coordinators, the committee has a right to drop you in the ratings and rankings. So, I mean, do they drop him out of the tournament? Do they keep him in the tournament? That's penalizing the kids, though.
Yeah, but remember, like, it is, but does another coach bring Trinidad Chambliss, who's a Division II transfer that he picked up in the portal that none of the other Power 5 big schools wanted, and he brings them to where he's brought them? They've won massive games in the SEC this year. They're a one-loss program. Like, that was created by Lane Kiffin. Created by him. I can't just flush that and act like, okay, you know, Ole Miss would have been there if it wasn't for Lane. Now, you're right. But I think instead of him saying, in your eyes, you said he thinks the LSU job is more important than 12 quarters away, which you're right about. I just don't think he thinks he was going to win with Ole Miss.
Okay.
I think more of it shows lack of.
If you're recruiting me, a 4-star kid, I'm not going to Oxford.
I'm not a huge fan of the fit, by the way.
Listen,
I think he's going to be very successful. I'm not a big fan.
Well, guess what? He got to be north of 10 wins. You know, Alex Golish asked me a question. You know, we were texting back and forth when he took the Auburn job. He goes like this. I go, bro, the problem with Auburn's job, you know what it is? I told Alex Golish this last night. I really like the guy. He was on my Tampa show a bunch of times. I got his cell phone. We're friends. He goes, what do you – and I go, congratulations. And he goes, what do you make of it? I go, remember something. The Auburn expectations are Alabama expectations. If you win 9-10 ball games, Gus Malzahn won 9 games – there, and for like this guy was in the national championship game in 13 and lost. They were a great program with him. 9 wins wasn't good enough at Auburn. I go, if you win 9-10 games at Auburn, you're going to get fired because the standard is Alabama.
Yeah, but remember, I think he just changed the standard at Ole Miss. That's the point. Like, that's why I brought up Stoops at Kentucky.
You really the standard is this: it's 10 wins or more, you're going to lose your job.
I know, but isn't that going to be the new standard now at Ole Miss? Like, and that's my point. It's harder to sustain success at a school like Ole Miss, where you set the bar high, and then you cannot recruit the top 5-star recruits.
Yeah, but
you got to live in the transfer portal.
But 11 wins at Ole Miss, that's first time in school history. 10 wins is normal at LSU. Brian Kelly was averaging 10 wins. Hey, you want to hear something about this? One last thing on this playoff. You ready for this one? So on the playoff, there's a chance you could have Duke and Tulane in the college football playoff.
That'd be so stupid. Didn't Tulane coach just go to Florida?
Yeah, John Summerall. Yeah. You know what John Morgan said about him? Bottom of the barrel hire.
Yeah, it is. Although I kind of like him. He's got that.
I don't think you can call a guy a bottom of the barrel hire.
I know what he means. I mean, there's big fish out there that people want, you know.
I
heard the AD was kind of brushed off Lane Kiffin at first, rubbed him the wrong way.
No, here's what happened.
He didn't want to.
They had Lane Kiffin last year. They could have hired him last year. Lane, everybody, they were all in line to hire him. Scott Strickland, he did not want to hire last year. So he let Napier. Remember Napier won some games at the end?
Yep.
Got the football team back.
They were 10-3, is that right? Or 10
something like 9-4, I think it was.
I thought they had double digits.
He ended up coming back, and then the AD kept him and brought him back. Lane was signed, sealed, and delivered to go to Florida last year. I think Lane took it out on him and said, fuck that. You had me last year. Now you're not getting me. Let me do a 30.
All right, good.